Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo return for Wicked for Good, the second part in the Wicked movies. And overall, my thoughts coming out of the theater were good. I was like, this is a good movie. Uh, it made me feel like I wanted to watch them back to back. So if you get the chance to watch like a double feature of them, I would totally recommend that. The standout here was the acting and the singing. No doubt about that. It comes in at 70% on the tomato meter, 96 by the audience. So the critics had some minor things wrong with it. But overall, the audience is liking this. And I have to side with the audience here because I found myself charmed by this movie. Wicked for Good. Touch long, comes in at 2 hours and 17 minutes. And it tells a tale of Elphaba, the future Wicked Witch of the West, and her relationship with Glinda, the Good Witch of the North. The second part of a two-part feature film adaptation of the Broadway musical from Jon M. And if you saw the trailers for this, guys, yeah, I think, well, if you like the first movie too, then you're going to be on board with what was going on in this movie. I liked this one because it gave us little glimpses behind the scenes as to the Wizard of Oz movie, kind of like those events were unfolding, but those events were unfolding behind the scenes, right? Dorothy comes, and it's kind of like, well, that stuff is happening off screen. How is it going to tie into this story they're trying to tell us now? Is there going to be a scene where Glinda or Elphaba is going to directly be involved with Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion and stuff like that? I just liked how they worked all of that stuff in. It was fascinating because I never saw the play. I'm sorry, I don't know how it all unfolds. But the standout here, without a doubt, is Ariana Grande as Glinda. She is fantastic in this. She makes it totally worthwhile to see. At first, you're like, can she pull this off? Can Ariana pull this off? And she pulls it off, man. She's got this arc where you feel a little bit sorry for her because she's trying to be the good witch. She knows that she doesn't have power. She's trying to be this person that everybody wants her to be because she sort of wants that too. And then they capitalized on the relationship between Glinda and Elphaba. Like I saw the trailers and I said, if they can make this work, then this is the backbone of it. You got to drive this home, and they do, because you know that at one point in this movie, one of them is going to have to turn bad, right? And what we know from the lore, it's pretty obvious as to which one. But I liked how Ariana played off of that, because there's a couple of scenes in here where you see the disappointment in her eyes. You see the anguish. And I was hooked. I was sold. I was like, wow. Ariana Grande is a fantastic actress. So with that being said, let's go over to my score sheet and start filling out some numbers for Wicked for Good. If you don't know how this works, acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points. Cinematography and score are out of 1 point. I think you know that we're going to get some good technical marks in here. But the acting overall, guys, it's beyond service, right? I think collectively between Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, everybody will be wanting to talk about Cynthia because the last one, but it's got to be Ariana this time, and Jeff Goldblum too. He's got some character revelations in here that are kind of like, ooh. And in the few moments that he's allowed to show you what he can do as an actor, because we know he's got range, we know that he's got skills, and he showcases them for us, and that's just awesome to see on the screen, guys. So acting is good, 2 points. Technical aspects was well shot for the most part. The color palette really draws you into this. And it's going to be hard to try to separate those feelings of, oh, it's nice, it's colorful, from trying to diagnose it on a technical aspect as a cinephile for like, okay, is that volume? Why are we just using these particular type shots when I want to see everything? I want to see the backgrounds. I want to see scope, right? And when they do the background shots, the plates, and show you the scope of things, it's CG. And you know that it is, and it has to be, but it's kind of like, I wish that perhaps there could have been a little bit of a better marriage, but of that technical aspect. But the directing for the other parts were fairly well done, and I'm going to give that 1.5. The story is also 1.5 because it is really about these two, right? It's about these two. There's some love stories put in the background there that I also liked. I liked the sister relationship with Alphaba and her sister. And I liked how the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow all came about. I really liked how that all fit into the movie. I felt like that really worked for me. And I liked how they did Dorothy as well. It was like, I don't know if I like this because you watch the old Wizard of Oz movie and you're like, well, these are the good guys. These are the good guys, right? But we're seeing it from this different perspective where maybe they're not good guys. And I find that kind of angle on this mythos refreshing. Because why not? Like, it's kind of like, it made me think about Mr. Freeze. Like, if you did a Mr. Freeze movie all from his angle, Batman would be the bad guy. And it's sort of like, are we getting that in this movie? Oddly enough, maybe just a touch. But let's go back and take a look at that score sheet and put in some numbers here for cinematography. The breathtaking visuals, though, I think for the most part, I'm going to have to give a full point. A bit CG heavy. I know it had to be. But the score plus the actual soundtrack of like the singing, just incredible. Because you get to see what Cynthia can do. And then this time you really get to see Ariana push her boundaries of getting up into those higher registers, holding it, being soft with the vocal also. The command of voice on display here between these two in the duets. It's just, wow. So we're sitting at 7 out of 10 right now for Wicked for Good. Let's go back to the tomato meter and take a look at what some of the critics and audience members are saying. I want to see what the critics are saying. Mark Kermode says there are some neat narrative twists. Liked it, though. It's a darker, gloomier, frustrating, less dazzled take on the Wicked IP. Should you still see it? Damn straight, since Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are twice as wonderful the second time around. Somebody who didn't like it. Wicked for Good has precious little in the way of any actual magic. One might even go as far to call it a bona fide dud. No, see, now I think you're stretching. Like, if you were to talk about the runtime, I could buy into that. I could say that, okay, we were a bit too long establishing some things. We dwelled a few times on scenes that I thought really didn't pay off, but when you get into the meat of it, it's just, wait. Well, anyway, if you were planning to see Wicked for Good in theaters, there's probably not much I can say that will dissuade you. Just go into it expecting that you might find this visit to the Emerald City disappointing. No, I don't think so. So that almost reads like somebody who is a big fan of the Oz films and doesn't like the fact that maybe the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion and Dorothy are being portrayed in that way. That's the way I read that. Let's take a look at the audience. Costumes, scenery, and music were all absolutely amazing. a movie you definitely want to see in a theater to fully appreciate it. And I saw it in the IMAX. I saw this in the IMAX, and it was breathtaking. Great storyline that explained how Wizard of Oz characters were created, gorgeous sets, and powerful music that touches the heart. It does. It does touch the heart. Even just thinking about it. Now, my heart just wants to burst out of my chest. Yeah. It's a good movie. Yeah, enjoyable film, but I like the first part better. The songs were catchier. No, I still think that some of the songs were very catchable, especially that last number. Now You See Me or whatever. Or yeah, well, good stuff. Let's wrap this up with the score sheet. Was there anything else here I wanted to talk about? Good use of flashbacks. Good use of flashbacks. And Ariana just, like, the costumings for her, the makeup for her, the sets that she was on, like her room, they photographed that all well. So yeah, she looked majestic. And I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more work from Ariana in the future, for sure. Wrapping this up, back to the watchability factor. I'm going to, well, if you like the first movie, you're going to want to check this one out anyway, right? If you like the play and you want to see how they wrap this up, you'll want to check this out at least once. But watching it again, no problem here. No problem here. Would I fight for a 9 out of 10? Could I possibly fight? Would I own this? Yes, I would. I would own this movie. And I will. Watchability factors at 2. And I have no bad feelings about that whatsoever. 9 out of 10 for Wicked for Good. A good way to wrap that movie up. And I just feel like I think you guys are going to have a fun time at the theater watching this one. All right. Tell me what you thought about this movie in the comments below. If you like this type of thing, hey, we also reviewed movies like Now You See Me, Now You Don't on this channel and Regretting You. So, if movies are your bag, come join us here on Mirror Domains.